In this video, I'm going to show the process of making a complete website with SetSeed that I'm going to use to sell YOUNGHUNTER roof tents, including taking payments and collecting emails to send out announcements. This is an interesting real-life demonstration using a collection of projects close to my heart. SetSeed is software I've spent most of my life building. The roof tents are amazing and my family uses ours all year round for our holiday camping. I've organized a batch of UK stock that I can sell as a nice complement to this YouTube channel, where I enjoy looking at all things workflow from computers to camping. The amazing thing about these hard shell tents is they're just so much better, in my opinion, than soft shells. I've managed to sort out UK stock and still keep the price about the same as a soft shell from the market leader. And what people don't realize about soft shells is just how tall they look on your car. And after a few uses, you see how floppy those canvas covers get. Whereas these hard shells allow for storage on top of the tent, look super sleek even on smaller cars, and are super tough. I co-founded SetSeed with Chris Parnell in New Zealand, and together we're redefining what software for building and managing websites should look like. Where most systems are dumbing down real power in an attempt to make interfaces usable by anyone, we want to empower users by putting everything under one roof on a server you control with no plugins needed. SetSeed has robust distinctions between the roles associated with designing and building a website. Template design can be done by anyone with a basic understanding of front-end design, but becomes especially powerful for designers with front-end coding skills. Let's start by jumping in and building our outer template at the design level. We can edit the template with a graphical interface, and the default framework allows for a unique look and feel to be put together in no time at all with little to no code. We start by dropping in the logo asset to the default header bar and set some text styles and default colors, and then enable some content bars and a footer. And the content bars are just sections that have different presentations to group content on the pages. We'll see these turn into tabs when we start editing in a moment. I want to set up a video background area, so I just enable a content bar and drop in a default video. We'll then add content uniquely on each page to sit over the video. Now we can add the pages. So we're switching hats now and using the system as a content editor. And as we'll see, I no longer need any design skills to make the pages look good. Everything is semantic and inherits styles from the template. Let's add a shop page and two subpages, one for each type of tent. We have a side opening style and a front opening style, and they both have their pros and cons. The front opener is lighter, so it's better suited to smaller cars, and it's easier to keep under the 75 kilogram limit that most cars have. It's also simpler to set up. The side opener has more interior space, more window area, and a skylight, and it has the interesting feature of having a reverse rake main entrance, which allows it to be left open or as mesh even in the rain. Let's add some icons to show the features of the tents. It does amuse me how the market leader in the UK has hardshell tents with bright silver gas struts on the outside of the tent. Once you've gone down a narrow track with overhanging branches smashing against the tent, you'll know what a bad idea this is. These tents have the gas struts on the inside, so they look super sleek and they aren't vulnerable to damage. And no, it doesn't affect interior space either. When we're adding content to pages, we can see the whole process just uses this consistent mechanism of dropping things from the insert palette into the editor. If we look at a long page like this, we can see some of the amazing workflow tools in play. The whole process of editing content has had many considerations to make the process as simple and powerful as possible. For example, the insert palette is always available even when scrolled down a long page. And this allows you to scroll first and then drag just a short distance to drop the item where you want. We have multi-selection, and we can do batch operations on the selection. Moving a selection is also possible in the same way. Make a selection, scroll to the new position, and then drop just by using the fixed drag handle from the bottom of the window. And this solves one of the most widespread interface nightmares, where you have to drag and hold near the edge of the screen to move something on a long page. We can drag and drop images into storage, then add them as the asset for the image widgets, and we can use a column layout to lay this out nicely on the page. But bear in mind, this will change at different widths too, as everything is fully responsive. With web design, it's best to think about content first and layout second. And there's a trend in many of the online website builders that let users design pages as if they were in a graphical design application. And this is just the wrong way of thinking about websites. It's at odds with how web pages need to work. The advantage of embracing this is that it means the editor works exactly the same way on a mobile device, and no matter how complicated the widgets you're working with, the editing experience is always super manageable. The interesting thing about SetSeed is that things like layouts are never represented literally in the editor. Everything is simply a vertical list of editable zones. And the live preview will show you how it will look on the site. Let's add a gallery to these product pages, and this is as simple as dropping the widget on the page and then batch uploading the images. And this is what we call the quick add workflow that simplifies a more structured process that's going on behind the scenes. We want to avoid arbitrary definitions of content types, as that allows for huge power in the development layer. If something about the way this gallery works isn't suitable, a developer can easily create a new version that uses the same core mechanism for dealing with the uploaded images. Essentially, in the background, the images are added to storage, given a new tag based on the gallery instance name, and then that tag is applied as the source for the gallery. And all that happens in one go to allow super fast creation of the gallery. The style can then be adjusted to change the way that it displays on the page. And adding the product itself to the page is just as easy. Drop it in, set it up, and it's good to go on the site. And it's the same with adding the checkout. Just add a page, drop in the widget, and it's done. And one of the best things about Setseed is its powerful support for outbound email. We use the same tools that we use to build pages for building emails in the Compose area. These can then be set as the checkout notification emails or sent to user lists. And letting users sign up to a user list is as simple as building a form and setting it to add to a user list. As the tents are often out of stock between deliveries to the warehouse, we need a way to notify customers when we get new stock. And this is all built in and ready to go. Basically, Setseed has everything you need under one roof. You don't need separate subscriptions for your e-commerce, forms, galleries, or email capabilities. If you'd like to discuss using Setseed for your website, or if you want to use it to make websites for your customers, get in touch at setseed.com. Watch this video next to see how I apply my workflow-obsessed thinking to building an everyday survival kit that's always with me and is profoundly useful.